Okay, here's a list of all global storage operations as promised. We have seen move to and exists these two operations, and there are three more. They are move from, borrow global mutable, and borrow global. So the name is actually pretty self-explanatory on what the operation does, and the table from the official move book is also pretty clear on how to use them. The only thing we'll mention here is that to use these three operations, you need to include acquired in the function specification. So for example, if we want to use move from or borrow global mutable or borrow global, whatever, if we want to use that function, use the operation in, for example, in this function, then in the function specification, we need to use acquires, and acquires what? So, for example, if we want to use building resources, then we need to acquire building. So we basically just need to acquire the resource that's needed for this function. Okay, so now let's pay attention to one thing here. You can see that for the parameters of these operations, only move to requires the signer as the parameter, and all others only require the address. So what does this mean? If we want to put some resources to one account, then that account owner needs to operate that. But if we want to do all the other actions like updating or even removing the resources, they actually don't need the owner's permission. That doesn't sound quite right. So what's actually going on here? Okay, so the important piece is that only the module that contains the resource can do any of these operations. So go to our building examples. Only this file, this module, Xerox1, resources M, this file could move to, move from, and borrow the resources. And the implementation of this module will act as a gatekeeper. So, for example, inside this module, if you have a function about move from that use this operation, it would be wrapped around the logic and requirements in that specific function. For example, if you want to call this function, then it requires that you have to receive some calling first, for example, and then you can call that remove from operation. And for any people outside this module, they cannot directly call move from or borrow that kind of function, but they can only use that function through this module. That's basically how you would prevent like those unwanted actions. So if you have a coin resource, then only the module that defines the actual coin structure with key storability could edit the features related to that coin. And this also makes sense to why move to needs signer. You don't want people to put any random things on your account because storage doesn't come for free. Okay, and so the move to operation is like initializing the connections, and you're giving the module the access to all these other operations. Okay, cool. That's basically all you need to know in this section, and also a section about resources. And see you in future classes. Bye bye.